He lost the championship in the final lap of the season. Then he lost his father in a house fire 2 weeks later. Most people would have walked away. Denny Hamlin didn't. He came back. And what he is doing right now is making the entire sport deeply uncomfortable. 3 wins. 3 straight races. A 45-year-old man driving like nobody in this garage has ever seen before. And the competitors who have been chasing him for months have finally had enough. They are not just frustrated anymore. They are making moves behind closed doors that could blow this entire season wide open. 2 former champions have reportedly gone directly to NASCAR, not to complain, not to vent, but to demand answers about what is coming out of Joe Gibbs Racing and 23XI Racing. And the fact that they felt the need to do that at all tells you everything about how serious this situation has become. But here is what nobody is saying out loud yet. There's someone in the middle of this story who has gone completely silent. Someone who is always the loudest voice in the garage. Someone who, for the first time anyone can remember, has absolutely nothing to say. And that silence? It might be the most revealing detail of this entire controversy. What is actually happening inside the NASCAR garage right now goes much deeper than a win streak. Stay with this, because the full picture changes everything. If you want to stay updated on this developing story and all things NASCAR, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. So what is actually going on inside the NASCAR garage right now? The Great American Getaway 400 took place on June 14, 2026, at the iconic Pocono Raceway. Hamlin started from the pole, dominated the afternoon, and led 28 laps, taking the lead for good with just 4 laps remaining. He managed to hold off the number 45 23XI Racing Toyota of Tyler Reddick by 1.678 seconds in what resulted in a dramatic fuel-saving finish to the checkered flag. The win was clean, and the post-race inspection came back completely clear, making the victory officially in the books. However, this was no ordinary win. It was a record 8th career victory at Pocono Raceway, extending Hamlin's own record at the track they call the Tricky Triangle. This victory marks the first time in his 21-year full-time career that Hamlin has won 3 consecutive races, having conquered Nashville, Michigan, and now Pocono. With 64 career victories, Hamlin now sits 9th on the sport's all-time wins list, moving ahead of his former teammate, the late 2-time series champion Kyle Busch. The timing of that milestone carries serious weight, as Busch passed away unexpectedly just weeks ago, and the entire sport is still feeling that loss. This historic run is even more remarkable considering Hamlin is 45 years old, making him the oldest full-time driver in the Cup Series field. While he signed a 2-year extension with Joe Gibbs Racing that runs through 2027 and has repeatedly said it will be his final deal, his current production is reopening that conversation. JGR co-owner Heather Gibbs addressed it directly after Pocono, stating, "At this rate, what he's producing out there, it's not something you would not consider." Hamlin himself added, "I would certainly say it's the best we've been. We come to the racetrack every week knowing we got a great shot to win." This success comes after a period where he nearly didn't return following a championship loss and the tragic death of his father in a house fire in December. That's the fairy tale version of this story. But what was happening across the garage while Hamlin was celebrating? That's where things get complicated. The competitive stakes have reached a breaking point. Tyler Reddick entered Pocono with a triple-digit points lead, the most dominant lead of the season. After Hamlin's victory and Reddick's second-place finish, that advantage collapsed to just 19 points. It is the smallest margin atop the standings all season for the 5-race winner Reddick, who admitted, "It's a bummer. Scoring the points, we just didn't get the job done." With only 10 races remaining to set the 16-driver chase field, the points bubble is a razor's edge. Shane Van Gisbergen sits 14th, just 10 points clear of 17th place Brad Keselowski. Eric Jones and Austin Cindric are ranked 15th and 16th respectively, both just 4 points above the cut line. Joey Logano currently sits 21 points out of a playoff spot. Every race from here forward is essentially a must-win situation for multiple drivers, especially as Toyota has now won 10 of 16 races in 2026, with Joe Gibbs Racing alone accounting for 5 of those victories. And when you zoom out and look at the full picture, Reddick's historic early season followed immediately by Hamlin stacking wins back to back to back. A growing number of people inside the garage started asking questions they weren't willing to ask publicly. Until now, the concern being raised by multiple industry sources is the sustained, extraordinary level of performance from 2 connected organizations. This isn't about one dominant race, but a pattern of excellence that has continued week after week. It is critical to make an important distinction. This is not about direct cheating accusations. Instead, this is about whether NASCAR should significantly increase its inspection efforts, given what is being witnessed on the track. The relationship between the 2 organizations sits at the center of this entire discussion. Denny Hamlin is not just a driver for Joe Gibbs Racing. He is also the co-owner of 23XI Racing alongside NBA legend Michael Jordan. The 2 teams maintain a long-standing technical alliance, with 23XI receiving support and equipment through that partnership. While alliances have existed throughout the sport for years, some competitors reportedly believe the depth of the connection between these 2 specific organizations deserves a level of scrutiny that isn't currently being applied. According to reports, 2 former Cup Series champions, Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, have been pushing hardest behind the scenes for NASCAR to go deeper. Neither has publicly accused Joe Gibbs Racing or 23XI Racing of cheating. What they are reportedly calling for are deeper post-race reviews, more extensive technical examinations, and a closer look at components shared between allied organizations. In short, they want to verify everything and remove any doubt. A source reportedly told ESPN, JGR and 23XI are connected in ways that no other organizations are. And when those same connected organizations keep showing up at the front of the field every single weekend, it becomes increasingly difficult for competitors to simply look the other way. In the wake of these discussions, NASCAR announced that 6 cars would return to the Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina, including the number 45 of Tyler Reddick. While selection for R&D inspection does not indicate a rules violation, that detail did not go unnoticed. And then there's a silence in the garage that might be louder than anything anyone is actually saying. Bubba Wallace is one of the most outspoken personalities in NASCAR, yet his near total silence on this controversy is striking. Wallace drives the number 23 Toyota for 23XI Racing, the team sitting at the center of this controversy. His decision to stay away from the topic has led competitors to ask privately if he would have stayed this quiet if the same suspicions were directed at a different organization. Joe Gibbs Racing and 23XI Racing have both responded firmly, strongly rejecting any suggestion of wrongdoing and pointing to the fact that they have already cleared numerous inspections throughout the 2026 season. Hamlin was completely dismissive, stating that everything his team has accomplished has been earned and that they know exactly what they are doing within NASCAR's rules. He even reminded everyone that he technically has 9 wins at Pocono, not 8, referencing his 2022 disqualification. He stated they aren't getting that checkered flag back. Currently, NASCAR has no formal investigation and no announced penalties. To understand this dominance, we could look back to Fox Sports analyst Kevin Harvick, who noted earlier this year that Toyota has the best car and that Tyler Reddick has stepped up his leadership. Harvick emphasized that when you get confidence in this sport as a driver and as a team, that can help to overcome a lot of things. Furthermore, the financial theory suggests that 23XI Racing's charter court case victory over the winter attracted greater investment, directly translating into improved resources and performance. Hamlin's personal journey is equally compelling, returning from personal tragedy to have the best stretch of his career. The Cup Series now heads to Naval Base Coronado in San Diego for the inaugural street course race, the Enduro 250. This brand new challenge offers no historical data, and Hamlin arrives with more momentum than anyone. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell continues to race through the pain of a broken left wrist, a significant hurdle on a street course where shifting is constant. As long as Hamlin keeps winning and Reddick remains a frontrunner, the spotlight on Joe Gibbs Racing and 23XI Racing is only going to get brighter. Whether NASCAR finds a historic story or simply confirms remarkable performance, the garage is watching every move. This channel is still very new, and we are working incredibly hard to bring you the most detailed NASCAR coverage possible. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please consider liking the video and subscribing. It would mean the world to us as we chase our goal of reaching 2,000 subscribers. Your support truly keeps this channel running. Do you think NASCAR needs to take a harder look at JGR and 2311? Or is Denny Hamlin just flat out the best driver in NASCAR right now? Share your thoughts in the comments below.